Good evening to our wonderful viewers out there. Today we are here at Fine TV for another fascinating programs that the Information Ministry of the Gambia College Student Union, brought to you people. This platform is geared towards aspiring candidates to come and they debate on their policies and programs. But before going proper into the debate, I will allow the aspiring candidates to introduce themselves, to tell us a brief introduction about themselves. Then I will start with Ensa Baji. We have him here. Ensa, can you tell us who you are?
Thank you very much, Mr. Ba, and it's a honor to be here. My name is Ensa Baji, a Gambia College student, a final year student for that on the School of Education. Today is another session for this policy debating, and it's something that need to be honored. And I thank you, Mr. or Honorable Mohamed Esba, for organizing this. For the first time in Gambia College, such has been organized. Students will come out and show what they have for their brothers and sisters out there. And this is something great. It's not a war, but it's something that we need to fight based on agendas and what we have for our brothers. And I'm honored to be here today, and thank you once again.
Yeah, thank you so very much, Ensa Baji. And we also have Ibrahim Ajallo with us here, the other candidate that is aspiring for the position of the finance minister. Ibrahim, can you also tell us who you are?
My name is Ibrahim Ajalo, and I thank you, Honorable Information Minister, for bringing up this initiative for us to come together as candidates vying for the same position to come out and tell our brothers and sisters about the agendas we have in place, discuss about them, share more ideas, and put more effect on them as well. And I thank you too.
Yeah, thank you so very much, aspiring candidates Ibrahima and also Ensa. So now we will go straight into the program proper. It is a debate. This debate is a policy debate where aspiring candidates, they are all aspiring to become our upcoming GCSU finance ministers. So we will go in proper into the debate. It is said you should ask yourself what you have done for your country before asking what your country should do done for you. So I will ask you people, and so I will ask you, what have you done for the Gambia college students before you asking for the college to vote for you?
Um, I love this question because before going into the Gambia College, I believe we came from a place that is our community, our home. I think one should be recommended or recognized from your vicinity before going to another destination. I came from a community called Kabafita Layout. This is where I started be recommended. Again, coming to the Gambia College, I'm an agri major. Those that are on the agri, more especially final year students, can attest to that. As we speak, we are in the era of project writing. Some of them have been calling me, and sir, we haven't seen our names. We don't know who is going to supervise us. Day in, day out, I've been badging into our head of departments office so that I can see to it that they have chosen me to be their class rep. I have to facilitate that with immediate effect. Every day I do communicate to Jobadi. Some of my mates haven't seen their names. We set a day that is Saturday, this comes Saturday. I have to go to his office so that I can book all those names that are not captured in the list. So this is the first thing that I normally do. The science area also, I am among those that are normally facilitated whenever there is activity that is called in the Gambia College, more especially cleaning exercise. There is non-cleaning exercise that normally happen in the Gambia College. More especially this year or last month, we organized at least 3 or 2 hours cleaning exercise at the MRC building. Again, also around the masjid where we normally play at the Gambia College ground, we organize a cleaning exercise with the Agri Club. Another club also that is Islamic Student Solidarity called CISA. We also clean around the masjid. So these are something that I did for the Gambia College, not because I don't want them to vote for me, but I did it free of charge because it's my responsibility as a student of Gambia College for me to do it, and that's what I did. And that also I have to thank Mr. Sise, a lecturer of commercial area, because he is an energetic person. No, especially if you come to environmental area, I will not forget him. If I do that, that I'm not just the same. I thank you, Mr. Sise.
Yeah, thank you so very much, Ensa. Mr. Ibrahima, you have heard what Ensa said. You also, can you tell us the things that you have done for the Gambia college students that you think they should look into for them to vote you as their next finance minister?
Okay. Thank you. I greet you. And I start with, before going further, I would like to thank the head of our party, that is Team Webs. This party leader brought up many initiatives and gives us advices regarding about how to be in service of students, because he is the head of our student teachers association. There is a place where we gather, there is our teachers association office, where students will come with their problems, more especially the intakes, who will come with their problems of how to register their courses and location of places. So we help them register their courses. And not only that, there is this recently last week where they came with an initiative of prepare how to call organizing a room that is where different activities or different structures of artwork will be presented. So we started molding block by last week. And not only that, also, I'm the head of our mathematics club. And there are many activities that we do that involve students. The most key activity that we do is we organize a tutorial class where people who they are very weak in maths are developed, and we enhance there is more effectivity and reliability in that area. So those are the things that we do, and I coordinate those activities as the vice president of our club and many others. So
Yeah,
thank you.
thank you so very much, Ibrahima. We viewers, if the Gambia college students are watching, I believe they are listening to things that you people are saying out. So I believe, as I said, this is a program organized by the Information Ministry of the Gambia College Student Union. Its aim is to give these candidates the platform for them to able to show us the policies, tell us the policies and programs that they have in mind and that they are going to run if they are elected as the finance ministers. So we will go straight again, and I will ask with Ibrahima. I will start with you now again. Ibrahima, can you tell us two or three of the policies that you intend to achieve if elected as the next finance minister?
Okay, thank you for the question. The first policy I want to come up with is budget transparency. And when we talk about budget transparency, the key thing is about communication. Because when we talk about transparency, is making things clear to people. One, how did you made, how did you use the finance in a particular activity or an event? Or in this, I came up with an initiative of, if you need to prepare a budget, what you need is there are financial statements that you need to prepare. And preparing those financial statements, you need to present them. Present them to where? To who? Or the users of those financial statements. And the users of those financial statements are the students. How best you prepare them in order, present them to the students and tell them how their monies that they contributed are used properly. So in that aspect, presenting that financial statement, I don't think is only the solution. But tell them what is a profitable financial statement. And in that, not all the students understand what a financial statement is. And not all students understands how a proper financial statement is prepared. So organizing programs, literacy programs, where you tell them about finance management, you teach them about what is a proper financial statement for them to hold you back accountable. So that is what I believe. And the other policy I come up with is sustainability, to provide sustainability. And in this providing sustainability, it's about fundraising, where you have to use the little money that is in the account, propose list of expenditures, you come with your executive, you look into the expenditure and go in for making a profit. So in this, I will not only provide the budget in place to look, but I will provide the budget with my executive. If it is approved, I go by monitoring it to make sure that it is efficient and we get the best out of what we invest.
Yeah, Mr. Ibrahim, we will hold on there on your side, and we come back. I will come back to you later.
Okay.
So now, Ensabaji, coming to you now. Can you also highlight two or three of the policies that you intend to achieve when you are elected in office?
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Ba. I believe if you talk of financial aspect, we all have, I would say, we have similar agendas or policies, but different operation. This is how it differs. and what he mentioned, I have similar agendas or policies. But like me, the first one that I want to operate, I want to take it through transparency and accountability. And for him, those ones are captured under budget policy. Like if I could get him well. Yes. And how am I going to go with this transparency and accountability? Um, I want to say this, and I want Gambia College students to listen to me. This is Nsabaji. Before one should hold a position, I believe knowing the place is the most important thing. I've been following or overseeing the activities of Gambia College Students Union, and one thing that doesn't hold my heart is how we pay our money. We have passed the era of holding cash and moving with this. Most of the time, let's say the time of attestation, most by School of Education, students will come online in the office. At times, even the executive don't have a place to sit. I want this, I want that. That's what I want to bring a stop to it. That's why I come up with this policy, accountability and transparency. How am I going to go with this? This how me or as a finance minister, you should not hold cash, physical cash in your hand. Thus, we have moved that generation. We have to go into a digital era. That is, all students that are supposed to pay their car, go to the bank, pay your money, tender your receipt. Now, if you tender your receipt, what am I going to do with that receipt? The Gambia College Students Union is provided with a receipt already. You pay your money to the Gambia College Students account. You come give it to me as a finance minister. I will record it, give you another receipt. Then it will be by two receipts now from the bank and to the Gambia College Students Union. Again, I will provide a list whereby students will write their names. Any student who pay your name, I will write their name, your school identity card, your telephone, your GC number will capture. Why am I doing this? This is a question that I should ask myself first. This is why I want it to be clear. Yes, I've been seeing students also when they pay their receipt is missing. You as a finance minister, you cannot give them a receipt back because it have to show that you are duplicating or you are giving a student amount of money that is not recorded. I think that also whenever the finance minister is being audited, that means the finance minister is going to fall on the trap of the auditor. And thus, as a finance minister, you should run away from that. Tell them that I know this better than you. And this is what I want to do. Any student who pay your money, you give me a receipt from the bank. I'll provide a list for you, and I'll also provide a template form whereby you write your name, you sign the time, the date, and the venue. And I'll also provide a witness with a telephone number because I don't want to take what doesn't belong to me, and I will also not give a student what doesn't belong to him. So this is how I mean by transparency. Because if you look at this, there will be no malfunction in the usage of students' money. Okay. The second one also, I'll come to what Ibrahim said. I also have budget management, but in a different operandi. Because looking at the Gambia College, most of the time I follow this Gambia College Students Union program. At time, the way we spend our money, to me, is a waste. Yes, because looking at the budget drawing or the budget proposal also, if I am the finance minister, there are certain budget I will not approve them because they don't go into proper procedures. Like if you are a finance minister or let's say a business oriented guy, what you should do, the budget should be stated, look thoroughly. You have to look the budget thoroughly. The second one also, the finance or any executive in particular also should have to come and explain the budget first. Again, the budget have to be prioritized. Not all items that are found in that budget also should be approved. Let's say example, we are supposed to organize a football tournament. You go and prepare ebe in that football tournament. Is it advisable for footballers to eat ebe during that? As a finance minister, that should be logical and you understand this is what I'm doing is wrong. Secondly, also the budget should be valuable. You have to look at the percentage of people that are going to consume that budget. This is how businessmen do. You don't just come and approve a budget without looking the percentage. Gambia College, we have almost four sister schools. If you prove a budget of $6,000, education, one class of education can consume that $6,000. Where are the agri, public health, and SRN? Are they not paying their due? That one also a finance minister need to be questioned. So these are the two agendas for now that I want to tell you. And I'm sure if any a finance minister, even Ibrahim, if he win this office, I'll tell you this for free. Do not joke with this type of things because one day, even those people that are supporting you today, they will use that name and label you as you ate my money. For me, I will not tolerate that. Even the president, if you try that, you will not go well. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so very much, Nsavaji. You have stated two policies and also explained how do you intend to implement these two policies. Now, Ibrahim, I will come back to you. You also, in your policies, you said you intend to work out budget transparency and also sustainability. So now, can you tell us how do you intend to implement budget transparency and also sustainability within the council?
Okay, I said budget transparency is within the executive. It is about writing a proposal. You write a proposal, and the proposal will be brought forward within the executive, and the executive will have to look into what is presented before making the judgment. After that is done, the final proposal will be made by the finance minister. In that budget transparency, there are documents that are presented. Documents will be filled by list of expenditures, and when that happen, that need to be forwarded to the students, because as well they also need to see if the list of expenditures given in the budget are relevant to what, or if the expenditure, or if there is misuse of money, because you cannot take least expenditure and use huge amount of money to cover up those expenditures. In that, there will be no optimization. So we need to be very rational in this. So any document that is used to record any penny of the student money, I will make sure that record reach out to the students, because I also know my team will not allow, or the executive members will not allow any misused or any wrong budget to be spread, to be sent out to students to see. So in that, I will make sure any record that is made, because it should be my responsibility. It should be my responsibility. I will say it out to students, and they will say their view on how they saw it, on how they see the budget. And the other thing is this sustainability issue. Is there are many events. I know I can say there is some amount of money we have in our account, but the money itself cannot be enough to cater for all the needs we have. Because looking at the wise of the number of students we have, the schools combined to form a Gambia college is too much. So in that, we will use the little amount of money, create some events, profitable events where we know we are going to get a return out of it. So in that, we have to be conscious about the expenditures we prepare, and the proposal of the expenditures we are going to put in place, and what we expect getting from those expenditures. And we know, any business person will know, or any profitable mindset will know, all the time you should expect, there should be an expectation that the return of the income should be more than the expenditure in order to get something. So that is what I have for the sustainability.
Okay, thank you so very much, Ibrahima, for stating out your policies and also how you intend to work out these policies. I believe Gambia College students, if they are watching, they are also listening. This is a very interesting program. We have these two prominent candidates here aspiring for the position of finance minister. So they have also great policies. So I will still go back to Ensa and ask if you have any additional policy that you want to state out. Do you?
Yes, I have, but I just want to make some clarification because we all came from a team. He's from Webs, I'm from Concern. But there is some certain things I normally say. I'm from Concern, he's from Webs. Ibrahima, you are an individual person, and this position is between you and me. If you win, it's for you. I believe that is clear. But like when you say your team will not allow, I said it here clearly. There are certain people when you win in office, your teammates are the first people that encounter you. Let's say more especially when as a friend, like somebody who we are supporting you, come with a friend. Yes, this student is supposed to pay a sum of $300. You come and pay $295. You will disagree. When you disagree, boy, we all came from the same thing. I supported you. Do you think that person is pushing you to the right way?
Not the right way.
Is getting you out of what you desire for. So now when you say your team will not agree, somebody from the same team, how are you going to see that? Like you should be straightforward. Like me, there are certain times you need to come with a principle. That means you have to be fair, free and frank. Whatever you are doing, more especially when you get into the position. The people, first thing, the people that vote for you, do not forget them. engage them. And any day that you assume office, those that vote for you need to hold them accountable first before they hold you. That's very important. And also the second point, you said the budget will be forwarded to the students. You can only forward a statement to the student, that is before the Congress. But now you don't have any right to forward any budget or any statement to the student. The first thing that you do, you tarnish your image as a finance minister. Secondly, also you tarnish the image of your team. Thirdly, also you tarnish the image of the union. So when you do that, that means automatically you are wrong. People like me who said even if I don't win, I'll say this guy is not competent, and that's also you should need to avoid that. Again, I will talk about financial education. Yes, because I believe Gambia college students, there are people that are going into this entrepreneurship business. That means one man business also. Let's say agriculture, or others are students that go in for this poultry production, education, others this small scale business at home, are in public health. But now, how can we do as an institution to help those people that are supporting us? When I went to public health yesterday for the campaign, I told them, if I win or if Ibrahima win, we are going to join hands together. Unless if he said I don't need your support, but if he said that also I have something that I will encounter him. That is, it's my constitutional right to see oversee his activity. What we are going to do, we are going to organize a training session. That training session also, I've spoken with the current financier of Dirsa, that is the uh, MDI. We discuss at length that anytime I win or my opponent win, we will go together so that we can sit and discuss. We are going to train students on financial accounting, recordings, auditing, and entrepreneurship, because this is our institution. Even if we cannot give them all the policies, what we will do is to train them so that also they can be beneficial to themselves, because we are here as students, but tomorrow nobody knows what will end. We see some of our friends who were at this secondary school after grade 12, they are no more to be seen. Others are into business and others are in tertiary. So this also is a plan that me and my team came up, but more is proposal to me. Any day that I assume these are my activity plan. And again, no need for us to come late. If you win office, you come with an active plan and present them. One have to prepare before the battle. I've done my preparation, set all my tactics. Whenever office assume just to fix the date, this is when my activity is going to plan. So this also is my third policy as financial education. Not only that, also the executive also need to be disciplinary in financial spending, because if an education minister want to organize a debate or a quiz competition or any other activity, the nutrition minister or the social secretary want to print t-shirt also, we need to be oriented. Yes, there are certain amount of t-shirt, you need to see the demand of the people, how many students are in need of this t-shirt. Let's say agri education also, if you look at, you be able to evaluate how much are you going to give to just student. If that person is trained how to present all those activities, that'll be very very important, so because they have to be educated through. So this is the other third uh, policy that I have for you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so very much, Ensa Baji. Mr. Ibrahim, you have heard what Ensa said. He debunked some of these things that you said.
Yes.
So, what do you have to say about what he said?
Okay. To make some adjustment of the little misunderstanding he have on what I said. Okay. Everyone knows that in auditing and compliance there is a time duration. And in this, I will not just prepare a budget and send it out to students. There are times their students need to come and sit down in front of me. I present out what I have for them. That is in Congress. So I don't mean I'm going to prepare it here, propose it to the students to decide. That is the responsibility within the executive to make that formal decision. So in that, that is a little adjustment I have. And you mentioned many other literacy programs which you intend to organize. And there are some of the things, skills, and procedures you need to teach other business people in order to help them develop in their careers. It's a very important initiative, and I appreciate it. And as well, I promise you, if you invite me in the initiative, you are going to join in her. But okay, there is something I want to put in consideration that is so important that I think it has to come before all these policies we are mentioning. That is this they call a financial policy manual. The institution of Gambia College is too large to an extent resourceful, to be managed by only the functions of the functions in the constitution we have as a finance minister. Despite functionally, there are many different rules we have, different roles with different functions. But finance minister, their functions are technical, technical to an technical to the extent that they need some technical procedures to follow in order to make a wise decision. So there's this financial policy I came about. It is a document that will state some procedures you need to follow in making what a proper budget, and some rulings to what type of expenses you have to approve. As you said, some expenses are not relevant in other issues, events. Okay, there are in this financial policy, all those things are drawn clear. When will you have your auditing and compliance? Whether you are going to make it monthly, yearly, and etc. So all these are contents that should be found in the manual. When I was told that I was going for a meeting with the electoral commission, that was the first thing I demanded. I demanded for the constitution of the college, and as well I demanded for a policy manual. But I found out that there is no policy manual for this college, for the school. So that was my first target. So I went in that night and draw out, make a literature study survey of many policy manuals of different institutes. So I made made a proper drawing of the policy manual. I think with my team can develop for this college, because I think we proper need a policy manual, because that tool we can use it, one, to draw out all the clear responsibilities of the function of the finance minister, and not only that, also use that also as an evidence for any malpractice of any form. Because when your other executives come with an initiative of want to draw out list of expenditures that you know are not beneficial to the school or college at large, you have the right to draw them back to the policy manual, because that will state what are the necessary type of expenditures to be approved. I think that is important. And as well also, there is procedures you need to make. Making budget is not about just sitting down and drawing something. There are formalities it needs to follow. All those procedures in making a proper budget before presenting it also should be stated in that policy manual. Risk management also is stated there, and many things as well. So that is my first target, despite I didn't state it in my policy, in my policy, for the fact that I know it is not, I cannot take the formal decision of preparing a policy manual and the school approve it. It should be a decentralized responsibility. So I suggested that within my team members, and as well I know it cannot also be approved within my team members. So I'll go to an extent of, I started developing it already, go to an extent of bringing it to the general student body, where I will present what I have for them about the policy manual, or any further adjustment we can make on it in order to make all these agendas proper. So that is what I have.
Yeah, thank you so very much. Ibrahim, you made mention, and also you guys made mentions of Congress. At what point in time do you think the Gambia College Students Union should be aware of the financial dealings of the Gambia College? Answer. Ask you that question.
Yes, thank you very much. I just want to make some adjustment because I believe we are all financial oriented, despite he's an accounting major, and also this is something that I'm pursuing also. No need to mention or certain things there. Yes, initiative is very important. He want to initiate something, and I also want to initiate something. And one thing that I want to initiate is a commission of inquiry. This is an institution that have passed beyond that, because if you look at this, even the current executive, we will say we will hold them accountable, but there is no way that we can hold them accountable because they can do what we call forgery, false implication of figures, and whenever it tallies, those who know a balance sheet can tell you, well, you can give a figure why the sum or the amount are not correct. It can happen also. So Gambia College also, this also should be something that we should initiate, because if not, also our money will be mismanaged. Okay, now looking at your question, the constitution demands, said the finance minister should prepare and read a budget countersigned by the auditor general. It should be, this statement that I know, it should be presented 3 days before the Congress. Now, these 3 days before the Congress, and also if there is a delay, it should be denied. That means this is something that students will. If there is a delay, that means there is malfunction within the financial area. Because if an example, I'm the finance minister, there are some calculations that are missing, is going to cause a problem because I would not want to tender the report to the auditor general for signature or for proper
Yeah, and
audit.
sir, I will come back to you at that point. And Mr. Ibrahim, at what point in time do you think the constitution mandated you to create awareness or to let the Gambia college students know that the financial dealings of the union?
Okay, I will come back to the policy manual I talk about. In this, we can come together and talk about whether we are going to make the reportings monthly, quarterly, or annually. But financial recording, for right, I think it should be made annually.
Annually, and the constitution stated that if for the executive, every executive have only 1 year in
Yes.
office. The constitution stated for the financial dealings of the union should be sent 90 days in office. When you are installed in office, 90 days, you should send the financial dealings to the general student body. And also when your year is coming to an end on
Yes.
Congress. These are the
That-
two occasions that
occasion.
you sent the financial dealings of the Gambia College to this general student body for them to be able to know the financial dealings the finance minister is in and also the general council. So, but notwithstanding, we will still proceed on the policies and programs if you still have any that you intend to execute when you are elected as the finance minister, Mr. Ibrahim.
Yes, I want to emphasize financial accountability. I want to emphasize financial accountability. And in this financial accountability, in order to make it a success, I think there is need to still come up back again to the policy financial policy manual I talk about. So before going, I want to ask first to my co-partner about what do you say about this financial policy initiative I talk about it.
Yes, from the beginning, I told you it's something good. That's why I also came up with this uh, commission of inquiry, financial commission of inquiry. Because if this financial policy is manifested, that means there must be a commission of inquiry. You can prepare a financial policy, then if it is manifested, how or when there is malfunction, how are you going to hold the account finance minister accountable? That's also is a question. So I said the initiation is good, but it has to go with a commission of inquiry. When there is malfunction, then the policy is manifested, then it have a barrier whereby there will be no leakage in that policy. I believe these two policies also are very good. You come up with a financial policy, I come up with a commission of inquiry, then they move together. But if not, you will come up with a financial policy, but it will go to a certain point there, it will have a problem. Where are you who have initiated that policy? You will not be there to defend students or any other finance minister who is yet to come. More especially, you are a financial accounting major at the college. This year, the position is rotational. How about when it goes to School of Public Health? Will you be there to orient those people? This is a no question. What of when you go to agri student? Will you be there to orient those people? This also is a question. So if you have a commission of inquiry also, I believe with a policy, then the commission inquiry will serve as a barrier point so that this financial policy there is no leakage. So I believe the policy is a good initiation.
Yeah, what do you have to say?
Okay, yes. Yeah. About this rotation of the financial position of the finance minister is still also another added advantage of still the financial policy. Because I said the financial policy states out procedures, states out list and criteria of expenditures or certain things that need to be considered as a finance minister, and those rulings of how the auditor will go by taking the finance minister accountable. So all those are tools that can be used not only within in the Ministry of Finance, but also using it as a tool to equip the students in order to hold the financial minister accountable as well. So that is one of the most important thing why I came up with this initiative. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe the initiative that you are talking about is a very good initiative, but in as much as it is not captured in the constitution, it wouldn't be very much effective.
No,
Yeah.
it can be effective for the fact that we cannot make any policy that is not subjected to the constitution. The policy have to be in line with the constitution. So adjusting the constitution didn't say you are not going to make up the policy, but we can make the policy that will be subjected to the constitution, meaning there is nothing that will be in the constitution that in the policy that the constitution is against. So it will be subjected to the constitution, meaning the ruling of the constitution will be ahead of the policy. And as well, we will use that policy to extend it also to sub clubs to use and adopt those policies, meaning any policy also, any sub association is to use within the Gambia College, there those policies will also be subjected to the main policy manual that we are going to use.
Okay. Think, Ensa, do you have any other thing to say
Yes.
with regards to that?
Yeah, there are certain programs, if we say we talk much about them, we might even go to something that people might not be interested, because he made mention that the rulings of the constitution will be more, or let me say, subjected to the policy. Yes, every policy that is going to be drawn based on the constitution have to be mandatory observed by the students. I believe that is something that we need. And I made mention here, if his policy is to be manifested, that is the commission of inquiry also to be manifested. I say this. Let's take out of the Gambia College here, our community level or our government state. Every finance minister or every finance statement have its own principle that every finance minister should follow. That means those are policies or fixed policies that are stated by the government. This finance minister should follow. But after that, don't they orient them or don't they audit them? That what we call a commission of inquiry. They have to oversee their activity. How did they use our financial issues, or how, what's expenditure do they make, how do they spend our money? That's why I say if you come up with this policy, yes, the constitution allow it, then the commission of inquiry also should be allowed, because if you look at this also, you can bring a policy, that policy will be under the constitution. Now yes, you bring this constitution, or there are certain items that are captured there also. Whenever we are auditing them, or whenever they are about to inquire about them, some of them will say this, but these policies are not even standard level to the student. Look at now, we are saying the Gambia College student, the constitution, more especially the constitution of GCSU, others are saying there are loopholes, there are a lot of lapses. What if you bring this constitution? There it should be standard, but not 100%. But like it have to go with a guiding tool, which is the commission of inquiry. Any finance minister, if you break the barrier, that means you have to be called for questioning. So this is why I say these two policies have to go. Thank you.
Yeah, to our viewers, this is the Gambia College Student Union election 2023 policy debate. Here today we have the aspiring candidates for the position of the finance minister. You all know that we are about to have our election in 2023 GCSU election. So still on the policies, if you don't have any order in mind, we will move straight to this next question. Mr. Ibrahim, what relevant experiences or skills make you qualified for this position that Gambia College students should put you?
Okay, as I stated before, I've been the vice president of our mathematics department, where we have many dealings and many events that we organize, and those events undergoes recording, and those recordings we prepare financial statements when it comes to making budgetings and so in those all budgetings that are made by our our finance minister, our financial manager have also, it also should be overseen by us, me and my president. So those are little experiences I got, and as well also I'm a financial accounting student where I undergo many recordings of different financial statements that I know of no doubt of any financial statement I can prepare. When you talk about maybe the income statement, cash flow statement, prepare a standard balance sheet that I can present to the students for transparency and accountability.
Yeah, and Savadi, you have heard him, and you also, what relevant experiences or skills that you have towards this?
Yes, thank you very much. Mr. Ba and Ibrahim. I believe this is the most interesting session. Yes, first, um, I hold the position of a finance minister, both at community level and the Gambia College, which I handed over. Those students that are good in public speaking can tell you the Gambia College team leadership and public speaking. And at community level, I just forgot I would have come with my card whereby my name is written Nsabaji collector. What we do is like there are times that we make some recording go out within our vicinity to collect cars from people. So when you collect that money, what are you supposed to do? Those money supposed to be spent on the community expenses and also at the tertiary level, that is at the Gambia College. I could remember a time when I was push and pull with Mapuji. I was the secretary to the Pan African Leadership Movement. Um, when he was writing a budget, I told him, Mapuji, this is not a good thing. You have the little amount of money. If you spend it all, what if you want to host another program? He said, no, you like too much of economic. But like there is no organization that use its all finance to spend on one day because you think you are going to have in future. That's not going to happen. Okay? So like this are position that I've been handling before. It's not something that is new to me. And also I am doing a course related to this. No need to mention because you cannot mention two institutions at one. But it's something that I and like if you talk of this budget financial recording also, it's something that I've did just of recent this past exam. So when I saw all this statement there, I said this another opportunity for me. Like recording like as he said, Gambia College, if as a finance minister, it is a tertiary institution, but like if you are going to make a record also, it have to go only three records. That is as he made. That is the balance sheet, the cash flow, and a comprehensive statement. That means if you talk of the balance sheet, that means to see how the Gambia College or Students Union use the amount of money that is in the account. That means you have to record all the asset and the liability. But I don't see any asset in the Gambia College that we can use. Only those that are under the social security, like we said, the radio and the balls and other stuff, because all those one you can use it. But like where are the liabilities? They are not there. So if you said he's going to draw a standard balance sheet also, it's something that will bring my doubt. Secondly, also cash flow. That means most of the time, let's say this current executive, I've never seen where they send or where the information minister send a statement that the Gambia College Student Union has received some amount of money for support of this and that. So all what we did is cash outflow, and it's something that is mentioned in my policy because what I want to do is this year all the executive have to take money from the students' account if they want to run their activities. And how are you going to record that? This is where he said cash flow because the money have to go back. There are certain executives they only have to maintain what we call even profit. That means the amount you take is the amount that you are going to return back to the student, but they will not make any surplus also. Okay, a comprehensive statement that means the income and the expenditure. That means how much we are able to gain during that program. So when I read these statements also, I said this is something that have even improved my financial dealing. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so very much, and sir, I believe you have brilliant experiences and skills towards this position. Do you have any
Okay,
response towards that?
I was listing the possible financial statements that can be recorded. Not necessarily I'm going to record because I'm not in office currently. Okay, possibly I'm saying it can be recorded because it's currently they cannot have those inflow and outflow of money. But as time goes on, if it is important for you to be able to make recordings of those, because it's possible you have it in your disposal and you should know how to go by them. And talking about the standard balance sheet I talk about is necessary. Yes, there is cash. Not talking about cash, we don't talk about fixed assets, but we don't talk about the fixed asset. There are assets. We don't talk about fixed, but you have the current asset there because we have cash in hand. So in that there is an aspect where we record the cash. Not only fixed asset we consider. There are current assets present. So that is also another adjustment I want to make on your correction.
Yeah, thank you very much. And sir, do you accept those corrections? Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
If we do, we
it's
move on.
good. Yeah.
Mr. Ibrahim, now tell us what do you have that is exceptional that Mr. Ibrahim did not, that Mr. Ensabai did not have, that will make Gambia College students to vote for you in office.
Exceptional.
Yes.
That will be so interesting. Okay. And still, I will here by presenting to you to support me in this financial policy manual that I want us to innovate. I want us to be the first people that come with this initiative. I said it back then again. It is not a centralized responsibility. It is a decentralized decision that we should make uniformly to come with this policy, because one, it will be a guide for the students and anybody that is holding that interesting position and very critical position. And not only that, also it will be as a tool. We can use it as a tool to sensitize about financial management in order also to provide a prudent financial measures. So all those things are important thing. The most important thing I will even say, don't state it in my policy, but the most important thing is working on this manual. I have already said I already have the content of the manual at my disposal.
Okay.
So I have started working on how to develop those before proposing it to the students, because I cannot take the decision. Only my executive cannot take the decision, but we should go to the students because they know what they want, how they want their monies to be managed, because they are the one paying the dues. So how they want it is how we are going to take it with them. So before making any approval, we decentralize the responsibility by going around and proposing it to them. This is a policy manual that we want to approve. And in this, we are going, there is this and this and this content that are stated there. All this need to be followed, and it should be enforced. It should be enforced by any finance minister who come in for uniformity, because finance recording is technical. Technical to an extent. You can come with your own way of recording. I can come with my own way of recording systematically. So in this, when we come with this unique way of doing it, there will be consistency. So meaning any other people who will come, executives that are coming on the way, have to adopt the same thing. So not only that, also for the transparency within our sub-unions, also they can adopt this order policy manual, financial policy manual that we use in their little financial dealings with they have.
Yes.
So that is what
And sir Baji, you have had Mr. Ibrahim. Yes. You also tell us, what do you think? What do you have that is exceptional in you that Ibrahim did not have, that Gambia college students should look at and make you as the next finance minister?
Yes. Thank you very much. For the correction. Yes. The first thing that I would say is the leadership ethics, because you can propose something, but if you don't know how to go about it, it's a problem. Yes. And I want to bring you to this. Not just only Gambia College. I've gone through a lot of international training that I went almost through online. It's more especially about the commercial area. I did branding as a trainee, entrepreneurship as a trainee, and monetizing your money. Because I never mentioned it, and during that training I'm giving two certificates: an ambassador credit and also a certificate of participation. So after that, I realized that this is something that I should manifest, because you cannot have money, or somebody or people cannot give you money, it's under your custody, then you cannot take care of it. No matter how you bring a lot of policies, it will not have no use, because you need to be oriented how to use that money. So bringing a policy, yes, is something that is good, but how are you going to go about that policy? Because I believe policy should have an objective. So if there is no objective in that policy, that means there is no mission or achievement in that policy. So I believe this is something that is unique in me. Whatever I'm doing, I need to know it first before I go in for it. First time, one thing that I love in my life is being a secretary general, because I know it. Secondly, being a finance minister, because I know it. Not people come and tell me, yes, you should go in for this. I don't do that, because everybody have your own style of leadership. And mine is know before you go in for it. And this is what I did. I don't just come because I want to go in for it, but I have the technical knowledge before going for this. So this is also something that is unique in me. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so very much, Mr. Baji. Mr. Ibrahim, you have had the same. Yes. So, do you have any additional information
Yes,
that you want to say?
yes. In this ruling, having the experience you're talking about as well, I think financial matters is very technical for somebody to go in for it without having the passion and having the ability to do it. It's so technical to an extent I don't think somebody will take the risk to represent good number of people in financial dealings without having past experience about how to go by making these dealings, how to go by preparing proper financial statements that you can present. Because despite you can dodge away responsibilities and other recordings, you cannot dodge away, you cannot do away with it in the Congress, because you have to stand in front of the midst of all people you are representing, that is in front of students, and you read out to them what you have been doing, talking about the records you have been making there, and as well the management of fund you have been doing, and as well you will go under auditing. That's one of the responsibility of the auditor, and compliance also as well. So in this, I'm so passionate in financial recording, passionate in the fact that I have been doing it. It's not new to me. Financial recording, I have did it in my secondary school, and I deem it necessary also to pursue it at the tertiary level. That is why I took it as a major. So in that, I have did not only cost account, financial accounting, but narrow it down to cost accounting, where there are many things I learned about how to go by this management. So thank you.
Yes. Now I will go into the last question. This will bring us to the almost to the climax. We are almost at the climax of the debate. We are still at Fine TV, a program that is brought to you by the Information Ministry of GCSU, a policy debate which is geared toward the upcoming GCSU election. The final question that I have for you people is, Mr. Ensa, what is your strength as an aspirant finance minister that the Gambia College students will look at and vote you as their next finance minister? Your strength when it comes to financial dealings.
Yes, when you come to money, is something that is very sensitive. Even those who trust you, they will never do it. More especially if you have a little mistake. Yes, the strength is the first one is knowledge, because being a financial accounting major and being a finance minister is two different things. They are similar, but there are two different things. One can be a finance accounting major, but cannot be a finance minister. If you go to School of Public and Business Administration, go to the University of the Gambia, even if before you be a finance minister or a finance or accountant, you have to go on the training. Then there's me, I have did that training, not once, not twice. At international, I told you, I attend a training. Second, also, if I say international, people might say, more especially student of Gambia College, student might say, where have you traveled? I have never gone to the airport.
Yeah.
Yes, it was through online and everything was visualized. We see and we practice it. Secondly, also, I have handled a position as a finance minister. Thirdly, in the community level, also, this is something that I'm doing, still is in me. So, if you look at my strengths, also, I go with one thing, that is free, frank, and fair. Do not tolerate this. I said it here. When you talk of financial issue, do not joke. This position is entrusted in you. No matter how somebody try to befriend you, don't even try that. Me, I don't know, but I wish students see the passion in me. One day they will come and tell you, this is one of the best candidates you should have ever. Because the first thing that I will tell the executive, that this is not your domain. Every individual is going to be accountable for this. Every position you take is going to be accountable. And today I will not sit here and tell them that yes, I will do this and I will do. The first thing that I will not even tolerate any single usage of money. And I said it here clearly. And I'm not going to hold any physical cash. All the payments are to be done in the at the bank. You tender your receipt, I produce a copy for you, then also provide another copy for you whereby you will see it physically. Then whenever there is a message of your receipt, then it will be provided for you. So this is the unique in me, or the strength that I have, so that I can serve as the finance minister.
Thank you so very much, Ensa. Mr. Ibrahim, you have heard Ensa. He
Yes.
highlighted the strength that he have as an incoming or as an aspiring finance minister. Can you also buttress on the strength
Yes.
that you have as an aspiring?
If I can hear well what he is saying, I don't understand whether he was giving an advice to me, because you don't tell me about loyalty, being loyal. I'm one of the most loyal people, and that is my biggest strength I have. When it comes about money matter, more especially at this level, I don't joke with it. I will make sure there is transparency for the fact that I will not use any penny that will not be related on how it is used, and nothing will be approved by me that is not in the advantage of the students. So at that aspect of loyalty, that is already me. So in that also, I will go further by still talking about the passion I have for financial management. I have passion for financial management. And you talked about the little thing, you talk about doing financial accounting has nothing to do with have nothing to do with being a finance minister. It's true. But the finance is already a finance. You cannot change the recording, you cannot change the financial statements. You cannot prepare another financial statement in the finance office. You cannot prepare it. The financial statements you prepare in the class in senior school is the same financial statements you are going to prepare in that office. So there are no changes there. And not only past experiences you have, I know, but there are also overseen financial works, not only recording financial works. And I know how it is done. Nobody tells me that. That is why I'm so passionate of doing it. You cannot be passionate of something that you don't do fluently. I like doing it. I did it before and I will do it again. So thank you.
Yeah, we all have had these two prominent aspiring candidates that are running in for the office of the ministry, the office of the finance minister. They all want to become our next 2023 to 2024 finance ministers. We have had their policies, their programs, and they have also discussed on how they intend to implement these policies. And they also have tell us the reasons why they are vying in for this position. I wish Gambia College students, if you are watching, now you have had them seriously, and you should now make your own choices and also informed decisions when you go into the poll. Let's vote. If you are voting, make sure you vote wisely. Yes, based on the policies and the programs that they have. Don't vote based on party or team. There is one thing that I will tell you, people, Gambia College students, that Gambia College constitution, the constitution of the Gambia College does not recognize teams. It is only at their own levels that they form groups and they call it teams. But the Gambia College does not recognize, the constitution does not recognize any team. There is no team that is called team webs or team concern. It is themselves that form those groups and make themselves in groups and also call it these names. But the constitution does not recognize it. So if you are voting, vote based on the individuality, also based on the policies and the programs that the person is having. So before we wrap up, I will still give these candidates the chance, each and every one of them, to tell us in 1 minute, to tell us their last words on a closing note for them to tell us what their final remarks. So I will start with Ensa. Ensa, you can tell us your final remarks that you have for us to close.
Yes, I have to say Alhamdulillah. This is a very good session, and honestly, I'm happy. We have learned from one another, and this is the beauty part of it. Yes, if this was a war, then this place would have been full of blood. But we have taken one or each other's experience, because we are all trying to develop this institution. Yes, and it will not be fair also, the Honorable Minister, I say thank you, because you've tried a lot for the first time, and this also should be a recommendation to you. And Fine TV also, we are honored, and I believe the Gambia College Student Union are going to write for an MOU with you. So this is something that we good. Again, going to the Gambia College student. Yes, I have to start by saying three things. That is individually, group, and team. Yes, Ibrahima, Ensa, we are from different team, but we all have responsibilities. That is, if we win, what is my responsibility? That's what we have stated here. Good. At group, the Gambia College students, those of you that are going to vote for us, after voting, now you have no business with us. That is not fair. These people or us that we are going to vote, now it's campaign. You are following us shouting. After the election, you have nowhere to be seen. This is not support. You support the person to the last end. So this not happen. Team members also at the beginning will come and contest in our banner, come and stand for this position. We will guide you, we will support you. At the end, those are the people that are going to start fighting you. Where is the name you call team? And to the two teams also, that is Concern and Team Web, this election is already over as far as campaign start. It's like, let's say during Tabaski, before Tabaski start, people start jubilating. During that very day, everything is over. So now, as far as campaign start, to me, election is over. So what we need to do, we need to be careful to one another. Yes, going back to my own team, that is, I have to say thank you to every other lovers and sympathizers of Team Concern. When we said students' welfare is our concern, we mean it. More especially the one speaking in Sabaji. Yes, because we see that anybody or anyone who is given this chance, we need to support one another. The name of position is just a title, but each one have a responsibility. We are here, me and Ibrahima. When he wins, I forgo him, or let me say now this position belongs to him. Then that means I don't have love for the Gambia College. But when I win, he also give back to me. That means he don't have support of the Gambia College. So that means this institution belongs to all of us. Everybody have a responsibility to build. That means to support those that are in the office. And anybody that wins also, that office does not belong to you. You only come there, spend a little time and go. It belongs to the student that vote for us. It's like when we are tuning a station there. Anywhere, any number you play, that station does well play. So you need to play based on the station that students choose you. So that's what I want to say. And I thank Allah for giving me the strength and ability today. Yes. Those in concern, team webs, these are your candidates. We are moving together. The Gambia College belongs to all of us. I thank you all.
Yeah, thank you so very much, Ensa. Now we move on to Ibrahima. Ibrahima, what will be your final message to the Gambia College?
Okay. First of all, I will go back again by thanking you as the information minister of this noble institution that is Gambia College for coming up with these wonderful initiations where you form in a form of a discussion, we say up our agendas, make adjustments in order for the betterment of the institution. I don't have much to say, but first I will give a warm clap and most celebrating to my noble team, that is team reps. We inquire, propose, and student decide. All our fancies, we are here to make change. We are here to make differences, and we are not here to make comparison between two parties. We are here to create a great difference between the college today to the college in the future. So we are here. We enter in the space of politics not to make push and pull. We enter in the space of politics to make differences. And we have been working together as a team. We will continue working together. And our fancies, we are never going to give her back. We will still work together and we will continue working together. And I thank this wonderful and honorable man here in Fine TV who have given us this opportunity to showcase our little ideas and discourse. So I thank you all.
Yeah, thank you so very much. I will begin by thanking also Fine TV's management for giving the Gambia College students this opportunity to come here on this platform and showcase what they have for the Gambia College students. And I also extend my thanking to these aspiring candidates for honoring this invitation. And the message to the electorate, that is the students that are going to vote for these people in office, please, if you are voting, vote wisely. Vote on the based on the policies, programs these candidates have. And also, this debate does not stop only here. They are going to have what they call the convention night. Come to the convention night. Also, you will hear the policies and programs, much of that they have in for you. There also, you will have the chance to vote the one that is competent, the one that you think that will move the Gambia College into another level. So, thank you so very much. I thank you all for listening. Yeah.